Welcome
Welcome to
to
Sisters
Sisters
in
in
Suffering.
Suffering. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gabby. I hope
Yay.
you can hear me. I really
I
don't like the way I could not be a chief technology officer, like ever.
the way you probably could be, because what do they do?
That's
Is my
true.
question.
But any minor technology inconvenience makes me so irritated. I don't know. I'm just not a tech girl.
I think the funniest part about this is that like other people that do this have those tech boards of all of the little buttons, like a DJ setup,
Yeah.
and we're still struggling, and we literally are on a Zoom, basically.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
like,
Live Zoom.
yeah.
Oh,
Hi.
welcome to the first official episode of 2025. Last week we uploaded our winter episode, a little bit delayed. Um, we had meant to upload it earlier, but like, I don't know, just holidays, life, whatever. So, yeah, we're so back, as they say. And, 2025 is here. It is
Yeah,
nigh.
I already started my new year with a new look.
Doesn't she look great?
I
I
do
mean,
this
anyone
every
who's
year.
listening can't see,
Yeah,
but
no
she looks
idea.
great. She got
Thanks.
bangs.
I got bangs. Um, I'm pleased. I was expecting much more disdain, trauma, fear, regret,
Anger.
and yeah. And then they turned out fine. They turned out
Yeah,
great.
fabulous.
So, but I do have a little fun story time, which is that, in case you can't tell, the only difference in my hair is bangs. Like I didn't dye my hair. I didn't get a haircut, like a chop or anything like that. I just got bangs and a trim. And my haircut took 2.5 hours.
Is it because of the widow's peak?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I went to a new place. Um, and I did start having like a panic attack in the middle of my appointment because the place that I went to is one of those salons that charges by the hour. And like each
What?
stylist, yep. So these exist. I've looked at them before and I was like, I'm a little scared of that. I didn't realize that the one that I booked an appointment at like was doing that. Um, but essentially what it is you pick your stylist and your stylist has like a set price. And I just wasn't really looking close enough. I thought that my stylist just had a set price and like that was it. I didn't realize it was an hourly rate. And halfway through my appointment, I'm like, we've gone over an hour. And my stylist wasn't saying anything, but I was just like, I really like I wonder if she's gonna charge me like the rate for every hour that I spend here. And that would have sucked because I don't want to be paying $75 an hour for bangs that took 2.5 hours. And so like I started freaking out. And then when I saw the time at the end of the appointment, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And the stylist was just like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. I kept you here for so long. I didn't have anybody after you. So we did go over the time. And I was like, yeah, we did. And I was waiting for her to be like, so that'll be $700. And it wasn't. She just charged me for like an hour. And she was like, I went over because I wanted to go over. I was like, you're so nice. And then I freaked out because I tried to tip her. She was like, no. And she said that they don't take tips in establishments like that where they charge by the hour because they like build all of the services into the price. And I was like, well, please take my tip. And she was just like, no, see you next time. And it was just such a weird experience. But it felt very weird. It felt cool though. I don't know.
I'm
Isn't
kind of
that strange?
speechless.
Isn't
I'm
that such a
I'm
strange setup?
I'm pretty stunned. It's equal parts like very European of them to include
That's what
everything
I
in the
was gonna
price.
say.
But at the same time, I have never heard of a salon charging by the hour.
I've seen this in other places that do like extensions, and they do extensions there too. And that's the only like setup that I've seen it in. And I was just very stunned halfway through the appointment when I realized that I'd gone over an hour and that I'd booked at a place that charges by the hour.
Yeah, no kidding. 2 hours for bangs too is fucking wild.
I do
What,
love her though.
how can you cut? There's
Yeah.
like nothing to cut for 2 hours.
It was we got so close in that appointment because I think apparently what was happening is I have a widow's peak and it was making one side of my bang look longer every time I moved my head in a certain way, and she was like they are straight as a ruler, but for some reason when you move your head it just like extends, and she just kept going in and hacking at it. And honestly, I don't have any. I'm so thankful that I booked with her because I was really scared about getting bangs, and I feel like she did a really good job, and I was very terrified, and she comforted me and did an amazing job and was a perfectionist about it, which is amazing. And I was just like, thank you for this.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
great. That's how it should be.
yeah. But the business model totally threw me off. I didn't know how to exist in there.
You look great.
Thanks. Every time I look at myself head on in the mirror, I have a moment of, oh my God. But when I catch myself in a reflection somewhere, I'm
You're
like,
like, who
hello.
is she? Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, so that's how I feel. But
Awesome. Well, because it is a new year, and maybe in the time that we last recorded, like a live episode, not pre-recorded, we
yeah,
forgot about each other. So let's draw a card.
we don't know who we are anymore.
Yeah, we're just meeting for the first time again.
Yeah.
Okay. What's something that always makes you feel a little brighter, Nicole?
I think being outside. If I'm ever like just down in the dumps, anxiety ridden, um, not having it, and I go outside, I immediately feel better. And I'm like, this is what humans were meant to do. We were meant to be outside. And it always makes me think of you too, because when we worked together, the way we would just find each other and be like, do you want to go outside? Do you want to go sit out in the sun?
Yeah.
Do you want to breathe air together for once in this day? And it would always make everything better.
Yeah. Nothing like a good mid-work walk to clear
Yes.
your mind.
Yes.
I
And
love that.
do you remember we would go, we'd go on the roof and we would sit with the bees,
Yes, the spiders.
the spiders, the bees. Oh my God. Like you were like, which one is the princess that all the animals like? So that's Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah. You were Snow White with the bees and the spiders. They were all over you.
They really were. The wasps love me.
Wasps love me. That's
Yeah, they do. They do. Every single time in the summer, I'm outside, without fail, a wasp will find its way to me. I don't know, like maybe that's some kind of like a sign of some
hmm
sort. I don't
wasp
know.
queen.
Yeah.
Get bees all up in my face like you do. Like bees land on your face. They are
They're trying
obsessed
to
with
crawl in
you.
my ear. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, they want to be with you. But bugs do fly in my mouth more than the average person. Like I'll be like walking and talking and a bug will go in my mouth, and it happens at least once a week.
Yeah. Maybe the bees love me because I'm so sweet.
Yeah. That's so cute. And do you wear sweet perfume? I don't think any of like your perfume is like
No.
flowery. No, is it? I don't know.
No, I don't really like sweet scents, so I
No.
typically like my perfumes are spicier, but
Right.
I don't know. I guess it's just like
The
they feel the
ambiance.
vibe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay,
All right.
something that makes me feel brighter. I would say going outside too, but like more specifically being in nature. or like in any type of natural environment, whether I'm in the forest or I'm by a river, body of water will usually do it.
Mm.
Being by the lake, being by the ocean. Um, Not that we live by the ocean here, but you know what I mean. Um,
Lake Michigan is an ocean.
it
That's
is.
I stand by that.
It is. It's our ocean.
Yeah.
Um, but that always makes me feel good and feel refreshed. Like
Yeah.
nothing like a nature walk to kind of reset my mind. Um, I would say dancing too always makes me feel
Oh.
good. Um, I just like every time after I dance, I feel so happy and energized. Um, and I feel like I'm in my element when I'm dancing.
Do you like going out to dance? Do people do that? I think they should.
I don't think it's very common to do that
Yeah.
anymore. And I haven't found any good places in Chicago to dance to, which is a shame because, like, I don't like, how is that even a thing? I mean, I'm sure that there are places. I want to go out with the intention of dancing. And I feel like the past few times that I've tried to do that with my friends, it's failed every single time. Like, it just doesn't work out for one reason or another.
We need to make more dance clubs.
We really do. This is like low-key a dream of mine.
To own a disco.
Yeah. Oh my God. And like, I don't know. I maybe hot, controversial idea, but I wouldn't have alcohol there. You go purely to dance. But Chicago actually does something really cool in the summer where, um, like every day there will be like a different type of theme for dancing, or like
Mm.
any type of event like that. But there will be like salsa dancing and bachata and all different types of styles of dance, and you can go in the
Throughout the
parks.
city or where?
It's in downtown. So
Oh,
completely free. You can go and dance and have a good time. Um and yeah, I think it's in like July or August, somewhere in that time period, but that's cool.
that is cool.
We need more things like that, you know?
I feel like there's so much like cool community type stuff in downtown Chicago, but when I was going to school and I was down there all the time, I would just get out of school and there was always like some dude with a megaphone just screaming. And usually he wasn't saying anything like important, but he was just screaming. And then I would be walking to the train, and for blocks I could hear his voice echoing. And sometimes he like talked about, I don't know, it would seem like he was talking about women's rights, but I think he just kept saying like vagina a lot. And then halfway to the train, I would stop hearing him, and there would be like little bands that like stood in the medians in the middle of the roads with instruments, and they'd be playing music. And I'd be like, this is the most out of body experience. I just got out of my 4 hour long college class. A man was screaming at me about women's rights, and now there's a band playing in the middle of traffic.
Yeah. I feel
And I
like
love it.
Chicago is the most like New York adjacent city. Like there's a lot of New York-esque energy here, but I don't really feel like that ever gets talked about all that much.
I feel like I just if you just embody the bitchiness that comes with the city, you're fine. If you're
Yeah,
walking around and you smile at people, they're going like, someone's gonna get in your face or like whatever. But
yeah,
I never had any issues. And I think the most Chicago moment I ever had was I was walking to school at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had the right of way to cross the street. This is a sidetrack. We're gonna go down it. I'm sorry, Gabby. I was crossing the street. I had the right of way to walk, right? I could have been jaywalking because everybody does that there. Could have been doing it. I was being respectful. And somebody made a left turn and honked at me for crossing the street at the right time. And I stood in the middle of the street and I blocked this dude in his car, and I stood there and I screamed at him.
good.
And I swore at him and I screamed at him. And then I continued walking, and for the rest of the street, everybody cleared out of my way because I screamed at this dude and they thought I was crazy. And I was
As you
like,
should.
this is how you make it to where you're trying to go on time and without being bothered.
Yes, as you should. Yeah, I think what you said about embodying the bitchiness is so
Hmm.
accurate. And it's like, it's not even bitchiness, it's just like fucking move. Like walk
Hmm.
with a purpose and move.
Mm.
So yeah. Anyway, this was a tangent, but
We
I think
went
we should
from
do I think we should
outdoors.
do an episode where we like talk about like Chicago specific things because there's just so much.
You would have to be the expert because I'm just what are those called? Are they called transplants or whatever? I'm not a transplant though.
You're a
Grew up in the
suburban
suburbs.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's different levels to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm everybody's least favorite.
I don't think that that's necessarily true.
The most fear-inducing thing is when like when I travel and people say like where are you from? And I say
Oh.
Chicago and then they're like, "Oh, I grew up in Chicago. Like what neighborhood are you from?" And I'm like, never mind."
Well, I don't, that certainly doesn't stop some people.
It
If you're
doesn't
from
stop me.
Aurora, Illinois, you are not from Chicago. Okay? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not that bad. I'm only like 8 stops out of Ogilvy.
I put a lot of notes down. I ha I these past few weeks have been travel intensive and I've had a lot
Yeah,
of
you've been
thoughts.
everywhere.
I've been jet setting and I've been taking notes. Um, the first thing that I wrote down, this isn't necessarily travel related, but kind of. The way that I would have been bodied as a medieval peasant, having cramps, horrible, horrible.
When you say bodied, what does that
I would have been like, I
mean?
would have died. I would have
Oh,
died from cramps.
wait, no, because there's no Tylenol.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You
I
wouldn't, yeah.
I take a medication for my cramps. I if I don't have that medication, it's bad news. It is bad news. I am like incapacitated. I have to be lying down on my bed. And I'm not saying this is like, I get so tired. I need to lie down.
No,
No, like
it's
I'm like near vomiting. I can't move.
yeah.
I'm in bed for the rest of the day. Um, and I don't know what my life was without my meds. I would take like the extra strength Tylenol, like two of those every few hours. Um, surely did some sort of damage to my organs before I got prescribed medication. Like, I'm just very
My liver's
grateful.
dying for sure.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for modern medicine. And I was just thinking about it because I did get my period while I was traveling and like
Okay, that's the
I
worst.
yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how I would have done this as a peasant in the
Yeah.
medieval ages. I would have
Can you
died.
imagine being on a voyage?
It would have been horrible.
Have you ever gotten it on an airplane? Like on the airplane? Something about the elevation just makes it 10 times worse.
My buddy is really interesting though because I think like um she's very aware of like where I'm at. And if
Okay.
I'm in an environment that isn't my own, she goes a lot easier on me. Like my
Oh, that's
cramps
so
aren't as
kind.
bad. My this is like TMI, but whatever.
Yeah, go for it.
My flow isn't as heavy. Just like very easy. And I'm so
Hmm.
grateful to my body for that because when I'm home, she's like,
Horrible.
"Oh, well, you have all the resources available to deal with this. So let's just like wreck your shit for a day."
Mine's the opposite. Mine chooses, first of all, to come at the least opportune times, and then it also chooses to murder me in those inopportune times. My last job interview that I did started my period. and was fully sitting there, just like, they're like, so give us an example of a time where you, and I'm like, I'm literally holding it together right now.
No,
You
that is
don't.
the way that you are hanging on a thread in those
Hmm.
moments. And it's always something that's like either will take up a lot of time or be super inconvenient. Public transportation takes so much longer when you are
Hmm.
in the pits of your period. It's just kind of a joke. I don't know. But I think that goes to show how it's said, it's like a miracle that we're all here. How crazy that like out of all of the odds, like we ended up here. Yeah, because not only did women have to go through that, but also giving birth. Like we're not even gonna get into that, but like
No.
I can't even imagine.
I would have been dead if I were born as a medieval peasant within 3 months because I have asthma. And can you imagine having asthma as a medieval peasant? Like, they're like, you can't even breathe by your, like, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
And I think about it all the time, and it frightens me to no end because I'm like, imagine what I would do if I couldn't just take my little inhaler and, like, every time I laugh too hard. I would laugh too hard and be taken out if I were existing in a different time period.
Which is kind of a great way to go. Like laughing to death.
That's so, it's so like, are you kidding? But I think about
Yeah.
that stuff all the time too, where I'm just like, I don't know how. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it because I would,
Yeah.
I would
Natural
sneeze.
selection
Yeah,
would have taken us out.
it really would have.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody with asthma. Pivoting. But
Yeah, total.
after sitting in many an airport, observing, walking through many an airport, um, I think that we really, really need to bring back Heelys. Like we really, really, really need to bring back Heelys, upgrade them. I want like rollerblade level Heelys to go through the airport because some of these airports uh might as well be a city in and of itself. They are so massive. Uh, Short story time. I had a layover in Finland, and that airport is like it's insane. I landed on one end of the airport. My gate was on the complete opposite end of the airport, and I only had like a short period of time to get to my gate before they started boarding because it was like back to back um like land, layover, go type of thing.
Should be
And
illegal to do that, by the
should,
way.
yeah, should be illegal, but also I was like, I just kept like speed walking and it wasn't getting any closer. And I'm like, first of all, where is this gate? Second of all, why am I basically taking a hike right now? Like speed walk zooming through an airport. And I just think that if I had Heelys that time, I walked for like 25 minutes,
Hmm.
30 maybe even. I'm not joking. It was an insane amount of time spent walking, and I that could have been cut in half if I had Heelys.
Were your calves just burning?
Yeah, heaving. Yeah, it's the sweating that bothers me. I don't mind being a
Yeah.
little bit out of breath, but I'm already stinky from
Oh
traveling
no.
overseas. And like, I
Yeah.
don't need it to be any worse. I don't need to be like sweating up a fucking storm sitting next to a stranger on a plane. You know?
Yeah. It's, yeah, being that person sucks.
Yeah. My pits were damp. Like, this is
Oh
awful.
no. What part of, okay, I was about to ask the dumbest question. I literally was about to say, what part of the foot is the wheel on a Heelys? It's in the name. It's on the heel. Okay. Glad we went through that.
On the Heelys.
What was I gonna say though? I never wore Heelys when I was a kid. I really wanted a pair. I didn't get them. And now because I didn't have that experience, I just how does it work? Because how are you not like flipping backwards every time you
I don't know. I never had Heelys either,
Oh, you
but
didn't either.
yeah, I'm just saying like the concept of a Heely. I did look at their website like a while back, and they had some cute ones. They had pink ones.
For
I
adults.
yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. Well, maybe we should buy a pair.
I'm really bad at rollerblading though, and roller skating. I know there's a difference. I don't know what it is. I think roller skates have like the four. I'm really bad at rolling on
Well,
wheels.
I don't know. Maybe we should get a pair, write it off as a business expense,
Oh
and
God.
then just like travel around, bringing Heelys back.
Me and you just honor you on your commute to work every morning, just healing through the streets.
Healing through the office.
Are you allowed to Healy on the sidewalk, or do you have to do like it in the bike lane?
Oh my God. That just like brought back a very ancient memory of when Heelys were in their height. And I think there were instances where Heelys were not allowed indoors because like it was
They were like what, scuffing the floor?
too much of a risk of people getting injured and they don't want
Mm.
lawsuits. Um, but yeah, I think you could Heely on a sidewalk. I mean, where else are you supposed to Heely?
How badass would it be if you're like walking and like someone tried to like come up behind you or chase you or something and you just Heeled away and
That's
they
what
were
I'm
like,
saying.
it's
That's
so
what I'm
disarming.
saying. Yeah. I don't know. I'm into it. I think we need to bring it back. Could be fun. But this kind of segues perfectly into my next point, where Heelys, thumbs up, fun. But the swag era of the early 2010s is probably like the darkest times in our modern human history. Well, it's not actually, but you know what I mean. Um, it was very cringy. I came across some photos of like people posing from that period of time, and they had like the really oversaturated filters and like the peace signs, and they were wearing
Whatever
like
that was had a
yeah,
hold on me.
like
Yeah.
the capris with the short sleeve hoodies. Um and
Weird.
like the oversized glasses, the shutter shades. I mean, what were we doing collectively? What was that? Never ever bring that fashion style back. It was bad. It was ugly.
I want to preface this by saying I was a child, and so I can't be judged too hard. But do you remember Gangnam
Do
Style?
yeah,
I
yeah.
had I had a dehydrated piss yellow t-shirt with a bedazzled cartoon drawing of Psy, the guy who sang that song. He was bedazzled. He was a cartoon of him doing the dance. And I wore that thing unironically in public.
Do you still have it?
No. And there's no photos of me in it, thank God.
Oh man. I mean, I think that's kind of iconic.
Do you remember when Jersey Shore was like really at its height, and if you went to a school dance, everybody was doing like the fist pumping, and that
Yeah.
was like they would just go in like a mob and jump.
Yeah.
I liked that. That's my favorite.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't really have too many school dances. Like we only had homecoming and prom.
That's
Um,
a like Chicago public school thing, I think. Y'all
yeah.
didn't have anything good, sorry.
Yeah, no, we didn't have the funding for that, but but I do remember at my prom, I think I have a photo. They the theme was like celebrity. night or something, like
Mm.
famous night. I don't know, whatever. They had a cardboard cutout of Beyonce. Um, and like at the time, this was 2015, so her self-titled album was was really hot. Um, my personal favorite Beyonce album, self-titled. But anyway, all that to say, I was eating it up. I posed next to that cardboard cutout like it was actually Beyonce.
Do you have pictures of me? I need to see it. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh
I
my
desperately
God.
need to see it.
Uh, I do. The way, okay, so first of all, I had a septum piercing and my nose stud. Uh, I picked a dress. Oh my God, this is bringing back so many memories. But my dress was like, it was a pretty dress. It was like a light pink and gold, kind of like Grecian
Ooh.
style pleated type of thing. Except back then I had blonde hair and it washed me out so bad. And I like did my makeup to kind of match my dress, which washed me out even more.
No.
And I remember I went to this hair salon that was like a it's like a salon school, like a Paul Mitchell type of school type
Mm-hmm.
thing. Uh and the person doing my hair did my hair for like 2 hours. Kind of like your bang situation, but I I didn't even ask for anything complicated. I was just like, yeah, like a low, like bun braided thing, whatever. He could not figure out how to work with my hair. And I was like, this is kind of crazy, actually. At the time, I think I paid like this was pre-inflation, so it was like over $70, and I hated it. I ended up taking my hair down like by the end of it. Yeah. Just wow. I, it's so fun and funny to think back to that time too, because like I don't think about high school at all. And like I don't think about
Yeah.
prom like that until it comes up in conversation. And then it's like, oh wow, like all these funny things happened. I don't know. It's kind of fun. And yeah, interesting time. I'm just having all these flashbacks of memories of
Nice.
2015.
2015. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy times.
My high school flashbacks. You were so lucky because I feel like you were actually in high school during like peak of civilization.
Yeah.
Like you had Tumblr, you had great music, great vibes, Vine.
Vine. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Vine. Sorry. I was gonna say something else, but then I thought of something else related to prom, and then just like my thoughts canceled out.
I was I really wanted, like, I think as a person I'm just like I want to experience all of even like the dumb tacky stuff, like I want to experience it. And in high school I was the same way where I wanted to have the experience of the photos and the getting asked to like the dance and whatever whatever whatever. And I was so determined. And I was determined to go my junior year. I couldn't go. And then senior year I couldn't go because of COVID. And I still have animosity for the world at large for not letting me go to prom.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know where your prom would have been hosted, but our school actually did a pretty good job at like they rented out this hotel in downtown and
that's crazy.
yeah, like they made it a thing. So it was kind of cute, but
My school did a boat one year, I think, and then
oh,
they did
that's
it once
fun.
and then they never did it again because it was a mess. And there was a lot of like drunk kids driving around afterwards. I think my prom would have been at like a cotillion off of the highway somewhere. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been good, but I just wanted to go.
Yeah. Have the experience. A sub point to the swag era of the early 2010s. The early to mid 2010s YouTube sphere as well. Like I grew up on YouTube. I mean like Tumblr, YouTube, all of it. The British vloggers, the beauty gurus, you couldn't log on to youtube.com without seeing PewDiePie. Is this bringing anybody else back? Because, like, the chokehold that the British vloggers had on YouTube,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, the Brits were really good at that, at YouTubing.
And looking back at the videos too, it's kind of wild that we were like, "Oh my God," because it was just Zoella like showing us what she bought from Boots, and we were eating it up. And
I
like
wanted a wait, Primark or whatever. I wanted one in my hometown so bad.
when they would talk about the Percy Pig gummies,
Oh
you
my
ever
God.
hear I wanted a Percy Pig so bad. And so one time, this was like years later, but I had a layover in London and they had a I don't know, a British store.
In London, who would have thought?
No, but they had like a Primark or what was the other one? Uh, Boots. I don't think Boots sold candy. Whatever. Beyond the point. I got my hands on a Percy Pig, and when I tried that Percy Pig, I was so disappointed. I'm like, this is what this all the hype was about. It's not even that good.
I don't know what that is.
It's a gummy. It's a
Okay.
gummy that's shaped like a pig. It's really
Is it
cute.
big? Or is it
Yeah.
like, oh, it is a big one. That's cool. Yeah. Dan and Phil, they
Dan
were.
and Phil.
You know what I will say though? Um, we like people talk a lot of crap about kids on TikTok now, like eating laundry detergent and stuff and how stupid and crazy they are. But I was growing up in like you were choking on cinnamon and you were pouring salt and then pressing an ice cube into it to burn yourself. Like
Putting
that.
shot glasses on your lips. Yeah,
Yeah.
humans have always
Yeah.
been dumb. Like
Yeah.
different iterations of dumb on the internet.
In school, did people ever do the eraser challenge where you would someone else would take an eraser and rub it on your skin and like you'd see how long you could go for it? And like by the end of it, like your skin was peeled off.
No.
This was a
Well,
problem at my
maybe.
elementary school. Or yeah. It was an issue at my elementary school and we weren't allowed to have erasers after that.
That sounds familiar. I think we had like our own version of that.
I'm sure it
Uh,
was like school
like
to school.
I think like they instead of using erasers, people would like
Oh
twist
yes,
your
like the
arm or
burn.
like your
They would, yeah.
skin. Yeah, do
And
the
we were just
burn.
obsessed with burning each other.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on. Um, just children wanting to cause bodily harm to each other. It's a weird
as
time.
as they should.
Yeah. Public school
That's
was a very interesting
it's how you toughen
experience.
up for the real
It's how you
world.
bond with each other, that's for sure. Speaking of erasers, I remember in eighth grade, someone wrote on my eraser. They didn't sign their name or anything like that. They just said something along the lines of like, you're pretty or like, I like you.
Oh.
Um, Meet me by the stairs. And I was like, I was so scared, first of all. I'm like,
Yeah.
who is going into my desk and taking my eraser and writing me a cryptic message, freaking me the fuck out. And
Also,
then
use paper.
yeah, leave a note. Why my
Wow.
eraser? Never ended up finding out who it was because I did not go by the stairs. I was
That's probably
scared.
a safe choice. I would have been at the stairs, ready and waiting. Like, oh
With
my
a
God.
sharpened pencil,
Yeah,
ready to attack.
if needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you this? This is like the craziest fucking thing that's happened in recent events, just like randomly. Um, I had a crush on this boy in elementary school for years. Uh, like we never had classes together until eighth grade. Or maybe we had, I don't know. I had a crush on him from like fifth grade to eighth grade. It was a long
That's
period of time.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm pretty consistent where that's concerned. Like, I don't know.
You
It,
crushed for a while.
yeah. But anyway, I had a crush on him. I just like keep remembering different things that I did.
Different aspects.
Yeah. Well, I was like a little bit boy crazy in
Mm.
elementary school. I have a
Yeah.
diary. Let me see if I could find it. Hold on. Hold
Oh my God,
on.
that's insane.
I don't have the actual journal, but I took out the the entries.
Oh dear.
I'm like speechless.
Give us like a little, taste.
Oh my God. I literally can't. This is so embarrassing. I'm not gonna do this to past me. I'll tell you off camera because this shit's crazy. Anyway, um, where was I even going with that? Okay, so I had a crush
You were
on
boy
this guy.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
was boy crazy. Yeah, but I had a crush on this guy for a long period of time, whatever. We had class together in eighth grade. Um, and like I sat next to him too, which I was like, I cannot believe
Yeah.
this. Like, this is,
Recipe for disaster.
I don't know if he actually had a crush on me back or if he was just kind of messing with me. But he like put his arm around me. He would be like, like flirting with me. Um, but me at the time, I'm like, oh, he's just messing around. Because remember in a previous episode, I mentioned how I had like an academic rival. She sat behind us and she also had a crush on him.
Oh no.
So he was like just messing around, I guess. I don't know. That's how I interpreted the situation. And I remember he, like, this was around the time we were graduating, we were leaving eighth grade, moving on to high school, and he was like, can I get a hug? Well, no. So he asked me for a hug when we graduated, but he had also asked me for a hug like before that once, and I was like, no, you cannot have a hug.
Not allowed.
And then when we were graduating, he's like, can I have a hug now? And I was
Oh
like,
my
fine,
God.
I'll hug you. So that's the background story. 14 years later, 14 years later, I see him on Hinge.
Oh no.
I see him on Hinge, and I'm like, is that? I was shocked. Shocked.
Did you message him? Is he still
He,
cute?
he he looks like pretty
Okay.
much exactly the same,
Oh, that's funny.
just like older. He liked me, but I didn't.
Put it together. That's absolutely so weird that you like saw him on it. Did you not message him?
Well, he didn't say anything. He just liked a picture.
You should go find him again, track him down. Track him down. I have a fun crush story too. Mine is horrible. So I'm gonna set the scene. Seventh grade. It was my first year of junior high school. It was the beginning of the year. Um, and I went to an assembly at school. And I'm sitting in my little section at the assembly, and I look across our ginormous gym that for some reason we had in junior high school, and across in the bleachers is the epitome of what any 13-year-old girl would have crushed on in I don't even know what year I was in seventh grade. Whatever. And he had the skater boy haircut, like the bowl cut essentially,
The
and it was kind
Justin
of
Bieber
wavy.
hair.
He was tall. He was tan. And I was like, that is my boyfriend. I am going to find this guy. And I started speaking to everybody around me. And I was like, who is he? Do you see him? And I somehow networked my way into figuring out who he was. He was a year older than me, so he was in eighth grade. He was on his way out of junior high school. And I somehow discovered who he was, got his name, followed him on Instagram. He followed me back. I'm pretty sure we started conversing on Kick. Do you remember Kick?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I never used it, but
At yeah,
yeah.
at some point, like that, I think is where we started talking, or maybe it was on like still Instagram. Were there DMs at that stage? I don't know. And anyway, started messaging back and forth, and I was like, oh, I'm fully making this happen. Like I am creating my own story. I am the author of my own story. Like this is happening to me right now. And I was so excited. And I think I like took the ballsy move and expressed my feelings. And this motherfucker just comes back and messages me that he thinks I'm cute and that he's flattered that I like him, but that he's dedicated his life to like Jesus. And he's like, I don't want to date seriously at this age because like I think he said he wanted to like avoid I don't know what. And and he just had this whole Jesus spiel to me and then proceeded to like try to convert me to his Christian beliefs and like it was the most insane experience ever because I was like I was trying to like seventh grade hormonally hit on you and now you're trying to preach to me about Jesus and I'm mortified and I think I like was really rude and then never spoke to him again.
It's kind of mature of him to be like, I think you're pretty, but like I
But I
am
love
dedicating
Jesus
my life to Jesus.
at 13.
Well, shout out to him, whoever he is, wherever he is.
Yeah, hopefully it worked out. But
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully he's doing well. I think I will round off this episode with a diary entry read because I was looking at this one that I have in front
yes,
of me. It's not that bad,
good.
and I don't think that past me would be too mad if I read it out loud. I think we would have
Good.
a laugh. Okay, so this is dated March 13th, 2008.
Oh my god. I was 6 years old.
Okay,
That's why.
so I wrote, so dot dot dot. This boy, the boy I had a crush on, was in my class today. He looked so sad. I put an asterisk, size.
Oh my god.
On the plus side, my birthday is on its way, and I'm an only child, so the only childness is really about to jump out. Um, my birthday is on its way, and I'm getting a laptop. After my birthday, I might get the new iPod Nano 4 gigs.
Amazing.
And spring vacation is in, comma, well, starts on Saturday. I am psyched. I spelled psyched Psyched. And then I wrote, I have nothing else to say. And I signed my name. And then I put, P.S. I think I like this other boy. And I did like a little like squiggly frowny face.
Uh-oh, confusing. Conflicting wait, so now there's two that we've referenced. Oh my
This is from January 2nd, 2009. I wrote, OMFG exclamation mark. I'm so mad right now because I lost my Nintendogs game. Sixth grade is cool, but next year I might go to high school. Gay me. I don't know what the
wait,
hell I'm
you're
talking about.
what? You're in sixth grade, but you might go to high school next year.
Oh, I think because there was a program
Mm.
where, like, with my high school specifically, where you could start high school from seventh grade. Like, it's not high school, but like you transition into high school from seventh grade. Anyway, I thought I was going to get into that program. March 7th, 2008. This was before the entry that I wrote where I might get the iPod Nano.
Hmm.
Um, my birthday is really close. My grades are great. Everything is good. So why am I not happy?
Oh.
I I keep thinking about this boy that I had a crush on. That's why. Frowny face, I have nothing else to say. And then I wrote, P.S. This boy likes me, but I don't know if I like him back. Dot dot dot. After literally just writing that I keep thinking about him. But I'm like, I don't know if I like him.
Amazing. Love looking into like the brain of 12-year-old girls and like what we were thinking and what mattered at that time.
I love
Because
these
it's truly,
I love these so much. I'm so happy I have this to like look back
yeah,
on because
no.
this was actually like tragic at the time. This was
Right, like
like,
it's devastating.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I need to look and see if I can find. I think I've been pretty good at erasing any of those things.
Ugh, I like that made me feel all warm on the inside. My
Oh,
past me. I love her.
that's
She's
so
so
sweet.
cute. She's so silly. She's just such a silly girl. All right, well, on that note,
That was solid.
that was so fun. Went
That
went
was. What a
went
journey.
went down memory lane. We talked a little bit about like
Chicago.
Chicago, you know, medieval peasant times. It was great.
Yeah,
I had fun.
yeah.
So, uh, hope you all had a great new year, that your year's starting off well as it can. See you in the next one.
Toodaloo.